Hello and welcome to this Hangout on Air from Suntico. Today, an industrial strength CRM for companies using Sage 50 manufacturing, or alternatively for manufacturing companies using Sage 50. The subtext is connecting manufacturers and their independent sales reps. Today, we will have a demonstration of just that. How you, as a manufacturer, can use Suntico to connect with your independent reps and share relevant customer data with them so that between you can drive up business. This Hangout on Air follows last week's webinar, where we spoke about this subject in a lot more detail about how you can manage interacting with your independent sales reps in a more complete way. And that webinar is now on YouTube at Suntico TV, so please check it out. My name is Hugh Johnson. I'm Head of Business Development at Suntico, and you can reach me via the usual social channels or by email at hugh.johnson@suntico.com. So let's get on with today's demonstration. And the cast today is a fictitious garden supplies company called Bellwether Garden Supply, whose company president is Dolores Flowers, and she will be assisted today by her regional sales manager of District 12 called Callista Swinton. And the star of today's demonstration is the independent rep operating, in fact, one of the independent reps operating in District 12 called Derek Gross. And we're going to spend some time looking at life from the perspective of these three actors to see how these three can collaborate together using Suntico as a platform hooked into the Sage 50 accounting software that's used by Bellwether Garden Supply so that they can serve their customers better and drive business forward. So without further ado, let's take a look. And the first thing we'll do is look at life from the perspective of Derek Gross, the independent sales representative. So here I am, Derek Gross. I've logged on to Suntico via my iPad. And the first thing you will see is that it is a web-based system, which is great because I'm out and about and I sometimes use my iPad, I sometimes use my computer at home, and I don't have to worry. I can log on to Suntico to the account provided to me by Bellwether Garden Supply. I really like Suntico because it provides me with a number of useful perspectives for me to do my job properly. I'm just going to switch over to the full screen view just so that we can see everything a little bit more clearly. I'm a new sales rep for Bellwether Garden Supply, and I've inherited my list of accounts from a previous independent sales rep that has left to go to the competition. That was a chap called Mark Chamberlain. And I actually know, I'm only a few days in the job and I don't know much about what's going on, and I'm still trying to get to grips with everything. But what Bellwether Garden Supply have provided me with is this access to Suntico. And it's great because it actually gives me the context of my key customer relationships very quickly. It gives me a number of different perspectives. The first thing I will show you is it gives me a conversational perspective. So just like I might log on to Facebook to see what's going on in my personal life, so too can I go to Suntico and log on and find the conversational context that's happening within the key accounts that I'm looking after. And this is very useful because had Bellwether Garden Supply been using the usual channels of telephone and email, I wouldn't have access to any of the historic conversations that went on between Bellwether Garden Supply and Mark Chamberlain. And this way I get all that context and all that history, and it's ready there. And within the conversation thread, the individual accounts or transactions may be referenced, and I can just drill down and the context is all there, all the account detail is there, and I find that extremely useful just in terms of getting to grips with what's going on in the business. So that's one perspective that I really like about Suntico, that it provides me and helps me do my job. The other perspective, another perspective, is what I call the accounts view. And because I'm dealing with a number of accounts, it's not a large number actually, I'm just dealing with 8 accounts for Bellwether Garden Supply, but they're all there, and I can just quickly drill down to the detail of any particular account within the system. I can drill down to Armstrong Landscaping as a detail view. And here I have all the history, the sales invoices, the sales orders, all the history that's gone on within that account. And even the history that my predecessor, Mark Chamberlain, took. I can see all that context there. I can see some of the details. I can see an outstanding balance of $32,000. That strikes me as quite high, considering the kinds of transactions that are going on within this business. But I find that very useful. So I get the conversational view within Armstrong Landscaping if I just drill down here, but I also get the full accounts and transactional view if I drill down to the account view that I just did a couple of minutes ago. That's another useful view that I get. And I would use that. I can see myself using that every day as I prepare to go and visit different accounts. The products view is a view I find extremely useful, but I confess I don't use that every day. But I find it very useful to spot sales opportunities within my accounts, because actually what this is a list of all the line item products but purchased by my accounts or quoted for my accounts in the past. I'm just going to add some information to the columns here. I will choose to show the account just to give me a bit of extra context. I'm not interested in the total amount there. And let's say I want to sort by product code. Let's say I'm only interested in looking at products that have been invoiced. And as I say, I sort by product code, and I can group them by product code. So now I can actually see all the different products that have been bought by different accounts and the quantities, and all the detail is there. And I can see it gives me some idea of similar accounts and the kind of products that might be of interest to my different accounts. The last perspective, I mean, there are many other perspectives I can go into here, but I'm talking about the ones that I, as an independent sales rep, I find the most useful. The last perspective I find very useful is the sales invoice list. And this is all the invoices cut for my accounts and the status of them. And that's really important, because actually I get paid when my accounts pay the invoices. And I can analyze them, and I can drill down to the details of the invoices, and by default it comes up in the most recent first, but I can filter on particular days. I can choose particular time periods to filter the invoices on. I find that extremely useful. So that's the perspective from Derek Gross. Now let's just have a quick look at a couple of things. I see a conversation here about Armstrong Landscaping and must shift this mower. It looks like Bellwether have some excess items in stock. I can quickly go to my line item view. I can see who has purchased. Just reset that view for a second. I filter on that product code. I can see actually there's only been one transaction in the past. And actually I know that was Armstrong Landscaping, because that was what was said, but just verify that. And there it is. Yes, Armstrong Landscaping. And the context is, if I just look at the conversation, I've got a meeting coming up with them shortly. I believe that you're meeting with them this week. Yes, that's correct. Another note said, please note the large outstanding balance. All new orders must be paid for by credit card. So in fact, I do have a meeting coming up with them. So I can just check. One of the first things I want to do, I've never visited this client before. So one of the first things I might want to do is drill down and just actually see where they are. Let's have a look at the address. Where are they on the map? Okay, I'm not quite sure where that is, so let's just check where that is relative to me. I'm 1212 Lawrenceville Highway. That's me. And okay, 22-minute drive. Okay, that's I see where they are there. In preparing for the meeting, let me just take a look at previous orders. Oh, right. Okay. What I can see is I can see 3 outstanding orders taken by my predecessor. Let's just drill down, take a quick look at one of these. Yeah, nothing has been dispatched. I wonder if that's to do with the large outstanding balance. Let me just send a quick note. If I go back to my wall, I could send the note from the account record, but actually what I'm going to do is I like to operate from within my wall. So all I need to do is type @arm. So that references the account. I notice a number of outstanding orders. Is this because of the outstanding? I'll see if they've used a hashtag for that, so I may as well actually. Outstanding balance. And I'll bring that to the attention specifically with Callista. And I may as well copy Dolores as well. I don't have to notify them because if they're following me, they will automatically get this notification. Also, if they're following the account, they will also get that notification. But I will share that as a note to them, and they can respond on the timeline. So what I'm going to do now, that's a quick perspective from Derek Gross's point of view. I'm going to switch tack, and I'm going to go over to Callista Swenton. Okay. You've got some kind of flavor of what Suntico does. Now, Callista, as I introduced at the beginning, is the area sales manager or regional sales manager for District 12. And Callista can basically see everything that Derek Gross can see, but she can see more information. So it's not just the 8 accounts that Derek Gross is dealing with, but also her own accounts and also the accounts of Susan Pritchard, who's the other independent sales rep that Callista is looking after. And of course, dear to Callista's heart is the sales invoices list again, where Callista can analyze the performance by sales rep and by time period if they want, and it's a very quick way for Callista to find out what's going on within her territory. The next perspective that I want to share with you is, so if I get all my tabs correct, sorry, is that of, no, not Derek Gross, of here we are, sorry, Dolores. And as president of the company, Dolores can also see it's not just the accounts of Atlanta 12 district, but it's actually all the accounts, including the house accounts I'll just remove all filters. I think there's a filter applied there. So we can actually see here, we've got 65 records in there, including vendor accounts, which of course, actually not of course, but which my Dolores' colleagues can't. And Dolores then can of course do all the same analysis that Callista can do, but across the whole company and not just against that sales territory. So that's a quick whistle-stop tour of Suntico. Before I go, a couple of things that I'd like you to think about in your context to see how valuable this is to your business. How much time do you spend answering your reps' queries? How much time do your reps spend chasing information on behalf of their customer? How many reps do you have? Try multiplying all that together and working in the cost equation. What customer service opportunities are being missed? If you've got reps defecting to your competition, how do you up the game and make sure that you and your reps are delivering a premium service to your customers? And what cross-sell and upsell opportunities are you missing? So I would like to thank you for your attention. And if you'd like to find out more, of course you can. And related to this, next week, at the same time, we've got a webinar, a 30-minute webinar coming up on how to get started with e-marketing for SMBs. And I think this is very relevant because if you think about the context we spoke about today with the lawnmower and you're trying to get information out, promote stuff, perhaps based around purchase history and so on. The good thing is that you understand Suntico integrates tightly with MailChimp as an e-marketing platform. And so you can use that product information to push out and customer information to push out targeted email campaigns to your clients. If you can't wait till then, please try out our demo account by going to our website and logging on to the URL that's assigned there, and we will send you details of access to the demo account. In fact, it's the same demo account that I've been using for this Hangout on Air. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you all next week.